Hello and welcome to my unboxing and first look at the Start Collecting Eldar box set from Games Workshop. This set will set you back £50. I believe it's in this box here, and we'll just open it. So there we go. Start Collecting Craftworlds. I don't know why it's not in a wrap of plastic. It's just loose like that, but there we go. Oh, and then we have the brand new Eldar Codex, which looks like it's been damaged all on the bottom there. So I'm definitely going to send them a picture and an email and get them to send me a new one, because that's just not on, is it, really? Enough about that. Let's have a look at the set itself. So as I said, this will set you back £50. According to the maths cat, she's gone away, she's done her sums, and this set, if you bought all of the models separately, would cost you £88.50. So buying this set is going to save you £38.50. Which is quite a considerable saving. Let's get back onto the unboxing. Okay, so as you just heard, there's quite a considerable amount to be saved here from buying them all individually. The Farseer is pretty cool, he's only £12. The Wraith Guard I think are about 30, I think the Wraith Lord is 28, and I think the War Walker is 18.50. So there you go. It comes with all these miniatures, the 8 miniatures. Their previous set had a Fire Prism and I think 3 Skyrunners and then a Farseer on a jet bike. I much prefer this set, and I'd definitely be more inclined to buy a second set of these, because believe it or not, I don't have any of the models in this set. I have old Wraith Guard, I don't have a War Walker, never have. I have 2 metal Wraith Lords, and I do have a few Farseers, but they're all metal ones. I don't actually own a plastic one other than the jet black one. So there you go, you got some sort of thumbnails there, I suppose, and a little bit of look on the back at some colour scheme. They're going with a Sam Hain, or whatever you call it, kind of colour scheme for their Craftworlds box sets. They used to be BL Tan, but there we go. So let's just unbox this. Quite a thin, compact Start Collecting box too. And there we go. So the instruction booklet guide, all of the models are in one guide, which is excellent, unlike the previous sort of Start Collecting box sets that I've reviewed, where they're all, you get all the instruction booklets and things individually, and some are better than others, but this has all of them. It's been completely redone in the 3D CAD, or maybe these were the instruction booklets from 4 years ago. That's when the last sort of big Eldar release was. What's also cool is you get a paint guide there for the Farseer and the rules. You get the Wraith Guard rules, Wraith Blades, and War Walker and the Wraith Lord. So that's pretty cool that you get all the rules in one book too, as well as the instruction guide. Okay, so this looks like the Wraith Lord base. I've never seen one of these bases before. Looks pretty decent. Looks like it's got some kind of Eldar architecture there, a lot of cracks. You're not going to need to do much to this base, but apparently this base came out in 2006. So is that when the plastic Wraith Lord came out? 11 years ago? Seems like a very long time ago, but there you go. That's the base for that. Oh, and then I've got another base here, so this must be the War Walker base. They look exactly the same bases. You've got some Wraith Guard bases. You've got 5 there. You got the Farseer on his tiny little base. Must be like a 28mm base. And that is the Farseer sprue itself. So that's 2012, so that's a 5-year-old model. Wow. You got his head and his singing spear, I think, and his rune armour. A fair bit of detail still. So that's the Farseer. This looks like a Wraith Guard sprue. Just move that over there for a moment. So you got these big Are they Wraith cannons or D cannons, D scythes? I can't really remember. But then you've got the close combat weapons as well. So you've got the ghost glaives and the swords and the axes. Quite large actually, bigger than I thought they'd be. But then again, I haven't ever had a plastic set of Wraith Guard. So these are 5 years old as well. Where has the time gone? So yeah, you do get the full set of Wraith Guard, which is actually 3 sprues. So these are the other 2 sprues. It looks like these 2 are complete mirror images. However, I think Sun Shield is that. I think that looks different on both of those, different sort of orientation, and they're in a different place. So yeah, same parts but slightly different layout on each of those sprues. So that's all the Wraith Guard. You get 5 of them. This looks to me like the Wraith Lord. Lots of gaps in this model. You can just tell it's an 11-year-old kit now. Lots and lots of gaps. I mean, I understand a lot of people were probably happy when it came out in plastic, but it's definitely shown its age now with these gaps. But it's only 2 sprue. Well, it's only 1 sprue. I didn't realise that. Just the 1 sprue for the whole Wraith Lord. Plenty of options. You've got scatter laser, I think it is, rather than a multi-laser. I think that's the missile launcher. Looks a bit odd for a missile launcher, but then you've got the star cannon, the bright lance, the shuriken cannon, this massive sword. It's huge. Yeah, really looking forward to building these. So that's the Wraith Lord. And then this is the War Walker. So again, lots of options here. The typical bright lance, shuriken cannon, where the little pilot sits. And speaking of that, you've got one of these clear cockpit canopies or shields or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and you've got his little feet there. And his joystick and all kinds of things going on. But again, another kit from 2006, so 11 years old. So the newest kit in here is the Farseer and the Wraith Guard. They're both 2012. So the newest kit in here for this new codex is 5 years old. And then the other 2 kits are 11 years old. Wow. So this is their start collecting set. They did have a bit of a release sort of 4 years ago in 2013 before Space Marines were released, and we got the Centurions and things. And they had their new codex then. I skipped that codex. So for me, the last codex I had was this old one from 2012. They actually released a new codex a year later, didn't they? So anyway, that's that one. But in that release in 2013, they had the Hemlock Fighter and a couple of other models. Wraith Knight, which was a big model, very tall. Still haven't got one of those. I will do eventually. And then the final thing, you get some transfers. So you get all of them from Samhain to Biel-Tan to Ulthwé, Eliotic, is that how you pronounce it probably? So yeah, there you go. And that's 4 years old, that little transfer sheet, but you get one of those. It's pretty good. So yeah, overall, really impressed. Like I say, it saves you almost £40 from buying the models individually, even though half of them are over a decade old. They're still pretty good models, and I would have thought that it's a good way of bumping up your Eldar force quite quickly. And it's good for me because I never bought any of these models separately, but I definitely pick up a second set. Just to give you a heads up, next week I'll be continuing with all the Nurgle releases next week, so that will be the, I think, 6th or 7th, I think it's the 6th consecutive week of daily releases, which I'm really pleased to bring you, of course. And then what I'll do is the week after, I'll concentrate on the Eldar. I'll bring out the Eldar Codex review, and I'll bring out reviews of all of these miniatures individually, and then a review of the whole set itself. But yeah, next week it'll continue with Nurgle stuff. Then it'll be Eldar, and then it'll be probably a couple of weeks of Tyranids. So just to give you a heads up of what's happening on the channel as well, a little bit of an update. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.